Gifts are a really fun way to be well branded, more visible, more shareable, because people can search for you and search in Instagram and use your gifts on their story. And so it's really, I think, a really underutilized tool in the social media email marketing world.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Win the Hour, Win the Day. And I am your host, Chris Ward. And today we have Deanna Seymour in the house. And it's going to be an interesting conversation, something that might surprise you, because it surprised me when I first started talking to her. I'm like, what? I don't get this, right? I didn't get it. Deanna is going to be here to talk to us about, and under the umbrella, I guess you could talk about marketing and branding, but it's really gifts, GIF. Yeah, you heard me, gifts, those cute little things, gifts. We're going to talk about gifts. And you know what? Let's start. Deanna, tell me, because you probably spent a lot of time explaining to people, why this matters and how you can use it for your business. And no, you didn't misunderstand me. So I'm sure you've got experience on this. Start from the beginning. Why do we need gifts and how? And listen, sidebar, Hook, I'll tell you about it at the end. We are using her tools and they're amazing. So go ahead, start.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is really fun. I love spreading, I love giving gifts a better rap, because I feel like people think of them as an afterthought or like a fun thing, but maybe not something that they need in their business, which I'm a rebel entrepreneur. So I don't usually say anybody needs anything, but gifts are a really fun way to be well branded, more visible, more shareable, because people can search for you and search in Instagram and use your gifts on their story. And so it's really, I think, a really underutilized tool in the social media email marketing world.
Okay, so let's back the truck up for a second. Here's the thing. You're right. I thought gifts were when somebody texts me and then I reply back, here's a happy birthday thing or something funny in texting or whatever.
Yep.
So I thought that's it. I did a funny, look at me, right? But I didn't, when you started talking to me, I'm like, oh, I don't get this. So what's happening is you're talking about gifts. So we did sign up to your little program, crazy affordable. She'll tell you about it at the end, crazy affordable, right? And so we did sign up for that. And I said to my team, let's get on this because she's going to be in the show and I want to be able to speak to this. So they just said, Chris, make a couple pictures with thumbs up, thumbs down, looking confused, whatever, headshots, and then a couple 1-second videos. And then they made gifts from that. So it's not just about when you talk about gifts, it's like these are customized gifts that are really eye-catching, make me memorable. They're funny. They're on brand. There's just so much you can do with this, but I didn't know this was an option. I thought, here's my gift to the ladies jumping up and down and cast of friends. And I send it to you and I say, yay, you did good. Right?
Oh my gosh, yes, that's such a popular one. Isn't it funny how some of them are so popular? That is like the quintessential yay one is Phoebe and Rachel jump. Okay,
so there we go. You talk to me about gifts and I'm like, this is gonna be a short conversation. I'm like, what do you want me to be on the show and talk about how to scroll and find good gifts in your phone? Like, I didn't understand. So this is a whole thing.
We're talking custom gifts. And if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, that sounds like a lot, it's not that much. But also, I want to say that you can use non-custom gifts to really connect with your audience as well. Like, we can get to that if you want. I want to talk about the custom ones because I think those are really where the magic happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be like, instead of Phoebe jumping up and down, when someone signs up for your email list and they get redirected to that URL and you don't know what to put on that URL, you want to tell them to check your spam folder, make sure you click the confirm button. It can be a GIF of you being like, woohoo, I'm so glad that you joined my email list, which number one makes you look super cool because they're like, whoa, she's a GIF. Like normally it's like fancy pants people in Hollywood that are gifts. Chris is a gift. Deanna's a gift. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And also it makes that connection. People are always talking about do reels because people want to see your face and they want to get connection, but that can be scary for people. So this is, like you were saying, it's like a 1-second video. You can actually use a live photo. If you have an iPhone, you know, those live photos that can get turned into a GIF. So you don't even have to talk. You don't have to say anything. You just have to look excited. I have one for my 404 page on my website. So when people type in the wrong address and they go there, it's me being like, crud, what happened? But it's me, you know what I mean? So they're like, who is this girl? She's funny. What's going on? And it's magical because most people think that it's going to be famous people. And so it's almost
Or
putting
in your
you,
case with the 401 page where it's, oh, something's not working, it would just be like a little animated thing with X's in their eyes.
yeah,
And so that does make, and we remember that too, like sometimes when I've logged into a website and something happens and they go, oh, what, we don't know why this broke. And you think, oh, that's funny. Like they're chatting with me, like we're familiar with each other.
yeah,
But hold on here for a second, because I want to back up I'm using this program. I think it's fascinating, but you're already still giving me tons of ideas that now the way I have it set up, anybody who works with us, they know in the winner's circle, we teach you how to have your team take courses for you, and then they can lay out in super toolkit. So you own the information. If they left tomorrow, it's all set up. So my team took this course and then they just said, okay, yeah, I need these pictures, whatever. But you did. And it took me all of 3.5 minutes. Like because that's the thing. A GIF is it's not meant to be polished and perfect. It's just fun, raw
yeah.
and ragged. But what you've now pointed out too, is they did have me do one that looked exciting and stuff. But now I realize, oh, they could be looking at other GIFs and saying, Chris, do this. Yeah. Okay. I don't look like Rachel, but I can jump up and down and clap like that and just do another GIF of that. So we could be spoofing off other GIFs to give us ideas of activities that we could be doing in our own GIFs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. And let's get to the really amazing part, which I thought was shocking, was these things are searchable.
Yes. So on Giphy, you can go and search for things. But so there's two ways. So you can go on Giphy.com to I find GIFs all the time I put GIFs in my email a lot, my emails. So sometimes it's me, but sometimes it is, I want to connect with people, like, so they are like, oh my gosh, she's watching that show too. I'll get replies being like, oh my gosh, I did one once about a show called Search Party, which is a little random, but people were like, oh my gosh, I love Search Party. So I think you can either search the ones that are there, but you can also use the ones that you make. And so there's two different types of GIFs too. I think it's important to say that. One is more like a rectangle. Those are probably the ones that you're texting, or in Facebook. I feel like a lot of people will reply with the rectangle GIFs.
Okay.
That's like the Rachel and Phoebe jumping up and down.
Okay.
And usually it's kind of like a meme, like there'll be something at the bottom. Either it's the quote from what the person said in the show or something else. So those ones are more like movie stills. And those are probably the ones that your team had you make the quick movies for.
Okay.
Then there's stickers. So stickers are what you can use in like Instagram stories, and you can add them to your reels. So these are ones that are like cutouts. So there's like rules in Giphy. So a sticker has to have so much of it being like transparent, like the background has to be transparent, it has to be cut out.
Hold on. I just love 1 second. We're not here to mess around, people. There are rules in GIFs. I know you think you're just living a free life and doing stuff, but there are rules to be lived by in the GIF world. So let's pay attention.
There are rules. So yeah, like those are the ones that you put up that say Sunday Fun Day. If you're just making a story and you look and you say coffee, because you want to make a story that says good morning, and you do a little coffee mug on there. But you can make those branded to you. So when I had my first podcast, I found myself saying, oh my gosh, I love it, all the time to people on my podcast. I love it. I love it. So I made a branded funny GIF sticker that said, I love it. So here's the cool thing about that. It was in my font and my colors, and my audience knew that was something I said. And I could stick that in my stories when I was talking about episodes. But also, anyone who's on Instagram searches, I love it, my GIF could pop up and they could use that. So even cooler is that when you upload your GIF to Giphy, you can put a website, like the originating, like where it comes from. So I always put deannaseymour.com. So when people go to Giphy, if they click through, they land on my website and they found me. So that doesn't really work in stories because it's more just like pasting the thing in. But if people are searching on the Giphy website, they could potentially click through to your website. So it is another place to link your website to.
Would it come up in Google searches like images?
It does. It does. Some of them do. So there are like, and if you do it, they have stats and they have all this stuff. And I think, I don't want to oversell myself, but I feel like I have millions of views. I don't know if I hit the billion. That sounds too much. I'm not really an analytics person. I told you I was a rebel.
I think you're doing okay with the millions. Okay. Yeah.
But I think so. The more popular ones will actually show up in Google sometimes.
Okay. I think you're also a couple things now. I've got more ideas, is going one hand, things that I say all the time. Like I always talk about that I'm a recovering rushaholic because I used to think speed was the way. And I didn't understand that you're skimming over things. There's no depth. You're not getting stuff done. So a lot of the people I work best with are the go-to people, a person in their life, and they're used to rushing and getting a lot done, but there's still too much to get done. So I always say I'm a recovering rushaholic. So I could have Giffies that talk about being a recovering rushaholic, but then, so you could have things that sort of you coined, and then you could also use like perhaps industry standard words that, like you said, that's cool or whatever. When somebody's keying that in is going to come up. You can go general and you can go specific.
Yes. Yeah. And your book cover should absolutely be animated. Just wiggle it a little bit and make it a sticker. And when people buy your book and they're sharing a story about it and they search Chris Ward, you can add multiple tags. So like all of my gifts, I put Deanna Seymour so that when I'm in Instagram, all I do is type in my name and all my gifts are there and I'm ready to paste them wherever I want. But yeah, like book covers, podcast covers, like I love animating ones that say the podcast cover to new episode, podcast cover, new episode. Or when people do summits, like it's really nice to have a lot of branded gifts for that because you have so many speakers talking about it and saying, I'm going to be at this summit or I'm talking at this summit, and they can just search the name of the summit and pop it right in. So it's really shareable. And again, I don't think a lot of people like know about it. So it seems really cool. Whoa, this must be a really cool summit.
Like it looks like I feel like I built an app. Like, I'm like, look at me. Look, do you know how much money I spent? Yeah. And it's like tens of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So then I don't even know because my team is taking care of this. So would I have a list? Is it like URLs? Like I can pop them into my email? Like clearly there's more use that I even understood.
Yeah. What I like to do, I use ConvertKit, but I just save. You can go on to Giphy and save them as an image, but a GIF image. And I just upload them right into ConvertKit. So they're just right in there, super easy. And that's also what I do on my website, which I use Show It for. But I'm sure I think they're pretty universal at this point.
I got you now. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't even know how you fell upon this. Okay. I don't even know enough to know what I don't know. So you proceed.
I'm trying to think of what else I need to tell you. I'm like, you're sold. Hopefully everybody listening is sold. The thing is, I think that there are different places. Let me talk about some places I think that are really easy to put the gifts that are like the most bang for your buck. I already said the 404 page. I think that is really memorable. And I don't know if people struggle like I do. The
404 page is when you land on your website, it's not working.
Yeah, I was going to say, I struggle with updating my website a lot and changing things a lot. And if you're newer, that could happen or whatever. Like it's a little embarrassing if you have a broken link. So if you make it like a experience, it like gets over that really fast. So I love that. I love putting them, like I said, on confirmation pages. So yeah, you're signed up or you joined the email list or you signed up for the webinar or whatever. That's a great place where I think it's important for them to see your face and you are saying, thank you. You are saying, I appreciate you. And
in a fun, like dynamic pattern interrupt way, right? It's crazy. Sorry, you're giving me a list, but can we put them on TikTok videos? Okay. So it's been a while since I've been on TikTok because I got upset and quit all the social media. So I hit that overwhelm point and was like, I'm off everything. So I only went back to Instagram, but I would almost guarantee that you can search on Giphy. Okay. Gotcha. Perfect. Okay. All right.
Okay. And then
go ahead.
I just want to say the other place that I think is really cool to put them is in welcome sequences and emails. Like I've worked with a client who you have all these forms on your website, like people apply to be on your podcast and you want to send them something that's, I got your application and I'll be back with you. So it's like her being like, oh, thanks for applying or whatever. And we just went through it. And what your team did, I did for her. I just was like, I need an excited one. I want you to say cheers. Like her podcast, she does a drink of the week. So one of them, she's cheersing. And we just really made it her personality. And it was like super quick.
And you know what else I just realized too is for the clients in the winner circle, we work with people and help them get 25 hours back a week within the first month of working with us. And there's certain things that people get so excited about. The first time we help them get a VA or whatever, the first weekend they don't work. And so we made these little badges. We put all this little graphic into it and we're like, oh my gosh, congratulations. It's the first weekend that you remember you weren't working. So we give them these little milestone badges. But now, they were designed by graphic design. It would be so much more interesting for them to be gifts.
Yeah. And if you have those files from your graphic designer, I'm all about being scrappy. You just take those, especially if you have a PNG file without a background,
Okay.
and you can easily just animate that to make it wiggle. And you brought up the course. So in my course, I just use Canva. I feel like so many people have Canva. You do have to sign up for Canva Pro. I like to say that because I have just used Canva Pro for so long. I don't even know what it's like to not have Canva Pro, but the clear background, like the transparent backgrounds. And there's a few tools I use that you would need that upgraded account, but it's just so easy. Like you just put it in there and you copy and paste it a couple times and wiggle it and download it and you're good to go. And then when your winner circles are on Instagram taking a picture by the pool because it's their first weekend off, they search Chris Ward, winner circle, whatever they're going to search. And then they put that sticker on there so that other people are like, wait, what's the winner circle? I want to be in the winner circle. What's happening here?
Yes.
I know.
I barely have time to talk to you, Deanna. I have to go make more gifts. Okay. Yeah. And it's so funny too, because when you first explained this to me, I'm like, yeah, what? You want to come on the show and talk about what? I don't even get this. And so that must be your biggest obstacle, is because you're like, listen, you do not understand how cool this is. And I'm going to rock your world. Just give me 5 minutes, because it really, I've never heard anything like this before at all. I don't even, whatever.
Let me say one more idea.
Go ahead.
Sticker that said like, I've signed up for the blank challenge if people are hosting a challenge, or so, because you want people, like the whole idea on social media is for people to tell other people about your stuff. You can't just be like, hey, I want more people to, I mean, you could ask your friends, I want more people to, but you want to get that like excitement up, and you want people to just be sharing it because they're excited. So when they have a sticker in Instagram to add to their story that's like, I just signed up for this challenge, everybody who sees their stories, oh, I want to sign up for that challenge. It just makes it more fun and more. Who didn't have a sticker collection? I'm a kid of the 80s. So I'm like, who doesn't love a sticker? And now it's moving. Hello. It's so fun.
And we are using Gifs. And we do know that if I think with my team, if they're putting something, a clip from the podcast up on Instagram, they're going to grab a little GIF with the microphone, make it vibrate and stuff like that. We do know it adds some visual interest and it makes it different than the other stuff. So why not even have more fun with it and make it searchable and branded and really wait, is that Chris? What? How did she do that?
Yeah.
That really does stop the scroll. So I think it's fantastic. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, you're just spreading the gospel of gifts.
I know. I love them.
Okay. So tell us, we got a couple minutes left. Tell us what else, is there anything else we need to know here?
Geez, I think we've like rapid fired this. I just love that. I just think I love a gift because I do feel like there's an underdog. And I feel like hopefully people understand that it's really not just fun, but also fun is shareable. Like things that are fun, people are going to share. So I just think that incorporating this into your brand is like a no-brainer. Plus it's not hard to do. So
no. And I wouldn't even call it the underdog. I'd call it the invisible dog. Like, I just didn't know.
Like not even there.
Right? It's not even there. Like I was just like, yeah, like I said, okay, I got Kermit the Frog texting like a fool or pounding on the keyboards of the computer. I don't even know what they're called anymore, the typewriter. And you're like, okay, that's funny. And you put that, that's another thing we didn't even talk about. These could be coming out in my email, my weekly broadcast. Like you would put a GIF in that and like just, and I think you're so, when I see, we know that stops the scroll. If I see an email or something and there's a GIF, you're like, aha, that's funny, right? But we know they work. And I curse myself half the time for not even using the mainstream ones to make my stuff more dynamic and interesting. Now imagine if I add myself to it. Like it's success on top of success. Oh my heavens.
Yeah. You know what else too I should bring up is that if you go to my website, I could not pick. I told you I'm a rule breaker. So I could not pick who I worked. What kind of online business owners do I work with? Are they energetic? Are they creative? Are they whatever? Witchy, I think, is on there, rebellious. So I made a GIF scrolling through all these adjectives that described my ideal client, I guess you would say.
Oh.
And so it's just really fun and punchy on my homepage. It's all these different things like quirky, creative, like ethical, whatever, all these different adjectives of people I would love to work with. And so it says I'm a graphic designer for, and then the GIF cycles through all these different words, online business owners. And so that is another fun place. Like where on your website I cycle through some testimonials really fast, just short ones that people have written back, like when they get their graphics, oh my God, I love them or whatever. So I just made that a really fun one. So
there could be ways. Oh my gosh, quotes, like you could be doing quotes as a gift,
for sure.
You could be pointing down and here's the graphic with something like I get a lot. people are very generous, but they'll say, Chris, like you literally changed my life because they got
Mhm.
their life back. And
Yes.
so I get that a lot. And so that could be me pointing at a quote, like
Mhm.
you could even make some cute, like rolling your eyes. I hear this all the time.
Yeah, I love that, like, heart hands too. Like, I
Okay.
have a sticker that's, like, me giving little heart hands so that it's, "Oh, I love this," or if someone shares something of mine on Instagram, it's like, "Oh my gosh, I love this."
Oh my
It's so
gosh.
fun.
Wow. Oh, okay. All right. All right, Deanna, where can we find more of your brilliance?
You can find me at my website on deannaseymour.com, and I guess you're listening to a podcast, so I have a podcast too that's called F That, Breaking the Rules of Online Business, because I do that often, which is probably why I stumbled upon this wacky little way to get myself out there. But yeah, I love it. And I'm on Instagram if anyone wants to hit me up. I love chatting about all this stuff.
Okay. And I think, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think you had sent me an email about
Oh,
a
yeah.
coupon. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. What's the coupon code?
Oh, okay.
Oh, win. The coupon code is win because it's easy. And if it's not win, I'll make it win
No
when we
worries.
hang up.
Okay. We'll put it in the show notes, but
Yes.
listen, her little gift program is unbelievably inexpensive. Like it's tens of dollars, people. And she is also giving you a big discount. So I'm telling you, even if you're her mother and you're listening to this show, sign up because
Debbie, sign up. Just kidding.
yeah, because
I think it's with the coupon code, it's $25 is how much the course
yes.
is. So you're right. She's not kidding. It's super cheap. But I just want people to be out there making these things. So
Yeah, it's nuts. Like you're not like, and we don't usually promote products or whatever. And I said that to you at first, you're like, can I give a coupon? I'm like, we don't use, oh, it's $25. All right. I
yeah.
think we can gift them that because it
Yes.
really is to their advantage. I can't tell you, Deanna went through the course and then I did some pictures last week. And so we're just moving along on this course. So we haven't even started to implement it and everyone's so excited about it. So I
Well,
can't
I
wait.
can't wait to see them.
Yes,
So
we're
fun.
gonna have fun. All right, Deanna, thank you so much. We appreciate you and
Yeah.
everyone else. We'll see you in the next episode.